Hello, welcome to Brome Bird News. Let's see what the birds have been up to this week. My parents are avid gardeners, but they've always refused to spend any money on fertilizers. I actually grew up collecting all sorts of things in our household to use as fertilizers either on our vegetable gardens or in our flower beds. At that time, I had no idea about the connection between fertilizers and birds and bees and butterflies. So naturally, when I started to garden as an adult, these are the things that I was using to fertilize my gardens. Let me show you what they are. So we'll start with the big bowl right here. If you drink coffee, you can actually keep all the coffee grinds. You can store them in the fridge so they don't go moldy as fast. If you don't drink coffee, you can use tea bags like I have here. Just make sure there is no sugar in either coffee or tea, because that will attract all sorts of unwanted bugs and these things will go moldy really fast. Coffee and tea is actually good for flowers that you keep inside during the winter months. What I do here is actually I mix the two. So I take a tea bag like this, just open it up and throw it with coffee. There we go. And then I just mix it all. Of course, this is all a bit of trial and error because it all depends on what kind of soil you have and what kind of plants you grow. But these are really healthy choices. So coffee, tea. Now we move on to eggshells. I've talked about eggshells for birds, but you can actually use it in your flower gardens as well. So basically, these are eggshells from boiled eggs. A little bit of calcium is always good for flowers. You just crush them up. I do here. And then once they're fine enough, you can just toss them into your gardens. There we go. And then the last thing is something that I also use in the winter when we have our fires inside, and every time we have a bit of ash, I just toss everything outside, and then when the snow melts, this all gets absorbed into the soil, making it richer. But in the summertime, if you have fireplaces, just take a little bit of ash and spread it into your gardens as well. So basically, these are the 4 fertilizers that are good for your gardens, good for the environment, and are excellent for birds, bees, and butterflies. Hi David, I think a lot of people have this problem. Here's what Richard Sippers writes to you. I have a lot of sparrows at my feeder. What kind of seed should I use to get other birds at my feeder? And why do sparrows chase after my hummingbirds?
Hi Richard. First, I'm going to assume you're referring to house sparrows, that highly aggressive and invasive bird species universally hated by the North American bird-loving community. The best way to discourage them from feeders is to offer the right foods. Cracked corn, wheat, oats, millet, and most mixed seed offerings are a definite no-no. Your best food offerings are safflower seeds, Niger or thistle seed, suet, peanuts, and mixed nuts. If you wish to continue to offer sunflower seeds, do it in a feeder design that sways in the wind, as sparrows are more likely to be spooked by a moving feeder. And keep in mind that house sparrows like to feed on the ground or on platform feeders, so keep spilled seed to a minimum. Perches shorter than 5/8 of an inch also help prevent house sparrows from perching on feeders. Adding rocks to your bird bath to break up bathing spots and getting rid of any dusty, gravelly areas where house sparrows like to dust bathe might help. Discourage the little devils from breeding and roosting in your yard by eliminating any potential nesting cavities or wall ivy and keeping garage and shed doors closed when not in use. Finally, harassing the sparrows in their roosting spots in the evening just before they perch to sleep for the night might also force them to seek safe options elsewhere.
When we see couples that have a big age difference, our society tends to frown upon it and even make jokes about it. But Mother Nature is not that prude. New studies involving common loons show that male loons tend to lose their sex drive around the age of 20, but female loons continue to reproduce well into their late 20s and early 30s. As a result, older female loons go for the youngest loons possible. In this study, it was actually a 26-year-old female loon with a 4-year-old. Well, I hope they can find something to talk about. 145 years ago, the red kite was declared extinct in England, and shortly after that, the last breeding pairs were chased out of Scotland. These birds were once considered pests and as a result eradicated. Then in the early 80s, a couple of nests were discovered and the RSPB decided to recruit the British Special Air Service to watch over the nest to make sure no one was stealing the eggs. As a result, thanks to those efforts, the red kite is now flourishing, and there's actually a permanent feeding station set up at Giggering Farms in Wales. The locals are very happy to have this station because red kites are notorious for snatching meat right off a barbecue. The hunters are not very happy though because they're afraid red kites will eat all the local grouse and leave nothing to hunt. The International Crane Foundation is pushing the U.S. government to introduce standard sentences when it comes to shooting whooping cranes. Yes, believe it or not, with only 500 whooping cranes left in the wild, and with these birds being protected under the Endangered Species Act, there are still people out there who shoot whooping cranes, and in some places they can actually get away with a sentence like a fine of $1. Did you know that it takes researchers about $100,000 to get one whooping crane into the wild? October is a very busy month for birding festivals. The 27th annual Ding Darling Days Eco Festival will take place from October 16th to the 22nd. It is a week-long festival that this year will be celebrating the centennial of the Migratory Bird Treaty. The event kicks off on Sunday, October the 16th, with Family Fun Day with tram tours, crafts, wildlife shows, and more, all for free. Each day throughout the week is a different theme with free programs. Those of you who are just joining our winner's circle, here are some of the rules that we have here. You can submit 3 pictures per episode. The deadline is every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the winner gets to vote for the next episode. Now let's check out the top 5, well actually 6 this week. And the winner this week is Mark Robinson with his picture of a red-winged blackbird. Congratulations, Mark. We're sending you a Squirrel Buster Peanuts. Enjoy it, and I'll see you all next Tuesday.